Draken International, a private company that provides advanced air services, has been contracted by the Department of Defense to provide adversary air support for Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada.
We have always flown, and we still have our F-16s for the 64th Aggressor Squadron. We also had, up until last March, the 65th Aggressors, which were F-15s. When the F-15 squadron closed down, we found ourselves with a greater need of outside agency support to help still fill the number of aircraft that fly as adversaries.
This contract is a trial run to determine whether Draken can fulfill Nellis's need for adversary air support, or ADAIR.
The current contract we're under is for a one-year contract. The first part of this is a 3-week period. It started on the 30th of November and goes through the 19th of December. It's a 3-week trial period for the Air Force to evaluate us to provide adequate adversary support.
One concern about hiring ADAIR support is the cost.
There's multiple benefits to using contract air support. We are substantially more cost effective than if the Air Force had to provide the same airplane in the air. For example, you could probably get 3 to 4 of our sorties for one of the F-16 sorties. When we fly a sortie to meet a requirement that the Air Force has, that means that one of their airplanes does not have to fly that sortie, and therefore it preserves resources for combat employment.
Draken flies a multitude of older airframes that have been modified to keep up with current aggressor tactics.
They had a modification called the Kahu mod, and effectively it put an F-16 avionics radar suite in the airplane. So when we go out and we fight, we look electronically very much like an F-16 would look.
These older airframes have another advantage.
Well, there's a great advantage in flying against dissimilar aircraft. It gives our blue guys, or our good guys, the guys that we're trying to train, something new to look at. It's something that they're not familiar with right away.
I used to fly the F-22 and the F-15, and I did not like fighting each other because it was much harder to determine who was the good guys and who were the bad guys. So I think it's a huge advantage when we go out on the range and our young aviators in the Air Force see a dissimilar airplane. They know who the bad guys are and can easily sort us out, just like they would in combat.
Going forward, I think this is the future of our Air Force right now. We've gotten smaller and smaller in numbers, and so as a result, we have found ourselves requiring the need of outside agencies that can provide us the same type of training that we've been able to provide in the past, that because of financial reasons we simply can't do on our own.
Draken is not currently scheduled to support red flag or green flag exercises, but both the Adversary Tactics Group and Draken International believe working together could be a viable option for future adversary air support. Airman First Class Megan Qualls, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada.